Well, we've got it all at the moment. We've got strong winds, magpies, and flowering hardenbergia, and that means only one thing. It's spring in Canberra. I'm going to be focusing today on this one bed. We put this bed in October 2023, so just on 2 years ago, and it's been a sort of an overflow, a catch up, but there's a lot of things we can learn from this bed. You can see out the front that there's a fringe of ornamental flowers. That's just me. I really like dressing this bed up with interesting things. There's also some violas and all sorts of things. But the other thing is, there's lots of plants that have been here for a while. So we've got our regular celery and our pink celery, which is really taking off. We've got 2 lots of chives, a random broadbean, and also a rocket plant. But over here, there's something really interesting. There's a clump of leek seedlings, and what happened was I left that leek plant to go to flower last summer, and the flower heads dropped off and they've all sprung up. Now, they're not going to stay there. I'll be transplanting those later on in the day. But I think it's important to realise that in a bed like this, and in fact all over most of our garden, we tend to leave things growing. We have a lot of things that are a perennial or semi-perennial, and we're not great ones for pulling out on a regular basis or planting to a set schedule. You know, it's feral manor. We're a bit more random than that. First, there's definitely weeding. I'm doing nothing fancy here. I'm putting down some standard organic fertilisers. I've got some blood and bone. I mainly want it here, which is where all the crops, we had beans and tomatoes in here last year. But no doubt all the other things could do with a feed. And secondly, I'm adding chook manure in the form of pellets. I'll use up what's left of this bag. I'm not going to plant into this straight away. This really is prep. Over the past 2 years, there's been supplements to this bed, but I haven't really fed it a lot. So while our crops are all still very much in the seedling stage, I'm going to get this on. I'm going to give it all a good water. And then I'm going to mulch it. The final thing I'm trying to do is get some sugarcane mulch on this bed. Unfortunately, the wind is against me. However, I just want all of this stuff that I've put on underneath, all of this blood and bone and chicken manure. What I want for it to do is to actually start breaking down. I'm not going to plant into this straight away, but to avoid it becoming what in gardeners' terms we call hot, where it might actually, the strength of the fertiliser might actually burn the plants. That's what we mean when we say hot. Just trying to let this all break down a little bit before we get into proper planting in a couple of weeks' time, hopefully, when all of those seeds come up. So today I'm going to start working on the espalier, and hopefully I'll get most of it done today too. We of course have to move all of the stuff which has accumulated where the espalier is going to be up against this fence. So moving first, then organising. There's also going to be a little bit of tidying up to be done, and I can see in the wall all along there is full of my favourite flickweed. Can't escape the stuff. The good thing is the soil here, since it's been under the mulch and we've had a lot of rain, is actually quite moist. So yeah, so we've got a reasonable depth. Yep, thanks. For the persimmon, that's the one that's going to go there. Yep, oh, that looks good. We're just going to dig the second hole before we actually start planting anything. What's really good is to see is all of these new roots which have come on since we transplanted it out of its transport container and into the tub. So yeah, ready to go in the ground now. Great. Well, that is an excellent afternoon's gardening done. We've planted the 2 trees, put in our first 3 poles for the espalier, and hopefully when we decide what else we're going to plant along here, we've got space for, I think, 2 more trees at least. I've planted 3 different types of snake beans in these seed snails. I've got red noodle, just love that name, red dragon, and also dwarf burgundy, which always seems like a contradiction. If it's a snake bean, why is it a dwarf? Anyway, in the final one I planted some mitsuba, which is one of those Japanese herbs I love growing, but I always seem to struggle to get it to germinate. So far, the beans are all coming up, which is exciting, but the mitsuba is nowhere to be seen. We'll just have to wait and see. And before I go, I just had a final absolute buzz at the end of last week. We went to the National Portrait Gallery to see the unveiling of the new portrait of Costa Georgiadis, the presenter of Gardening Australia, and I actually got to meet him too. Have a good weekend gardening, everyone, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.